وذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. المعلمنا وينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم معلم إبراهيم علمنا ومفهم سليمان فهمنا. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are still dealing with issues concerning the menstruation, and we have dealt with what menstruation is and also some of the rules concerning its occurrence. And today we are going to continue in that same manner by mentioning the specific ways in which after menstruation a woman can carry out her salah and also fasting as well. So here's a point that is worthy of note, and the Shaykh says Tanbihun Ham. Now, before that, we go to Tuhur huwa inqita' adam. That is definition of Tuhur. That is after menstruation and the state of purity. What brings in, what shows, what indicates the end of purification, and that is what the Shaykh means by وَطُهُورُ وَإِنْقِطَاعُ عَدَمٍ. Now, so let us pick up from that point, inshallah. Go ahead.
الطهر هو انقطاع الدم فإذا انقطع دمها فقد طهر وانتهت فترة حيضها فيجب عليها الاغتسال ثم تزاول ما منعت منه بسبب الحيض. وإن رأت بعد الطهر كدرة أو صفرة لم تلتفت إليها، لقول أم عطية رضي الله عنها: كنا لا نعد الصفرة والكدرة بعد الطهر شيئا. رواه أبو داود وغيره، وله حكم الرفع لأنه تقرير منه صلى الله عليه وسلم.
يقول الشيخ رحمه الله: والطهور هو انقطاع الدم. What is tuhur? Or tuhur, that is when the blood flow is over. فَإِذَا انْقَطَعَ دَمُهَا. So if the flow of blood ceases, it stops, فَقَدْ طَهُرَتْ. This is an indication that the woman is now pure. The menstruation is over, so she is pure. And what ushers in the purity is what? The stopping, the cessation of the flow of the blood. وَانْتَهَتْ فَتْرَةُ هَيْدُهَا. So the period actually is over by what? By the stoppage or cessation of the blood. فَيَبِيهُ عَلَيْهَا الْإِغْتِسَالِ أو يَجِبُ عَلَيْهَا الْإِغْتِسَالِ. If that happens, then it is obligatory upon her to make ghusl. Now the blood flow is over. What follows immediately is what? Al-Iqtisal. That is, she has to take what? Al-ghusl. ثُمَّ تُزَاوِلُ مَا مُنِيَتْ مِنْهُ بِسَبَبِ الْحَيْضِ. And then she can now do those things that previously or hitherto she was prevented from doing. Like what? If a man or if a woman is in her period, can she make salah? No. Can she make fasting? No. Can she make tawaf? No. And all these things were forbidden unto her. But now the period is over. By way of what? The blood flow is over. She has taken her ghusl, and she can go back to do those things that previously she was prevented from doing. Now, وَإِنْ رَأَتْ بَعْدَ طُهُرِ قُدْرَةً أَوْ صُفْرَةً. لم تلتفت إليها. If after the blood flow is over, she sees something like tarnish, some yellowish substance, she shouldn't pay attention to. That is not what she should pay attention to. It's not part of what? Of the height of the menstruation. Now, لقول أم عطية رضي الله عنها كنا لا نعود الصفر والقدرة بعد طول شيء. Because of the hadith that was reported, narrated by Atiyah, that كنا لا نعود الصفر والقدرة بعد طول شيء. We did not used to consider that yellowish substance or that tarnished element that she sees after the purification as what? As part of Haid. No, the Haid is over now. So that is not something to what? To take care of. This is what the hadith has said. Now here is tanbihun harm. Something that is worthy of taking note of. This is very important. And I want you to read that one, tanbihun harm. No.
إذا طهرت الحائض أو النفساء قبل غروب الشمس.
نعم. إذا طهرت الحائض أو النفساء قبل غروب الشمس. If a woman who is performing or in menstruation, or a woman after postnatal blood, if she is now pure, clean, tahurit, she is not clean, she has taken a ghusl, what happens? Before sunset, because the day, we have the day and then the night. We have the night solar and then the day solar as well. But it happens that she ends up her Haid in the day before sunset. What shall she do? لزمها
أن تصلي الظهر والعصر من هذا اليوم.
نعم. لزمها أن تصلي الظهر والعصر من هذا اليوم. So this day, her period is over. And it is before sunset. Before sunset, she has to make what? Both Asr and Zuhr. Both Asr and Zuhr. Because the daily prayers are, what are the daily prayers? How many? The daily prayers before sunset. Zuhr and Asr. Now, so her purification, no, that's right, her purification takes place after Asr, just before sunset. Do you think she is going to make just Asr? No, she has to what? Make both Asr and Zuhr, just before Maghrib comes in. طيب. ومن طهرت
منهما قبل طلوع الفجر.
But if, for example, her purity takes up, or the menstruation ends before Fajr, and she takes her ghusl, now she is pure. She's in a state of what? Performing either salah or even fasting if possible. No, but salah, we are talking about salah now. If that happens, لزمها
أن تصلي المغرب والعشاء من هذه الليلة.
لزمها أن تصلي المغرب والعشاء من هذه الليلة. Then she has to perform both Maghrib and Isha. Not just Isha, Maghrib and Isha as well. Because both Maghrib and Isha are competing for that day or for that night. Now, because the day, it can be broken into what? Day and night. You have the nightly solar and then daily solar type. So her purification takes up at the time of what? Before Fajr. Before Fajr, meaning two solar of night, two nightly solar are missing. That are to be what? make up for? They are Maghrib and Isha. So she has to make both Maghrib and then Isha. Now,
لأن الوقت الصلاة الثانية وقت للصلاة الأولى في حال العذر.
نعم لأن وقت الصلاة الثانية وقت الصلاة الأولى في حال العذر. Because the second salah, for example, if you are talking about Maghrib and Isha, what is the first salah? If you are talking in the night, Maghrib and Isha, what comes first? Maghrib first. So Maghrib first, that is the Salat al-Ula being referred to. And the second Salah will be what? Isha. Both Isha and Maghrib share the same what? Night. Both, that's right. So she has to, at the end of menstruation and in the state of purity after ghusl, she has to make what? Both Maghrib and Isha. Just before Fajr. Now, طيب اقرأ.
قال الشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله.
نعم قال الشيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رضي الله أو رحمه الله في الفتاوى لهذا
قال جمهور العلماء كمالك
وشافعي وحمد because of the issue, and this is a very important issue. Because of the issue, Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah has said that because of this, the majority of ulama, including Malik and Shafi and Ahmed, what did they say?
إذا طهرت الحائض في آخر النهار.
إذا طهرت الحائض في آخر النهار, if the woman becomes cleansed or purified at the end of the day, طيب.
صلت الظهر والعصر
صلت الظهر والعصر جميعا. She has to make what? It's both Zuhr and Asr at the same time. That is now. At the end of the day. So we are talking about before what? Sunset. Before sunset. And then her purification picks up. Her menstruation is over. In a state of purity, she wants to make salah. She has to make both Maghrib, Zuhr, and then Asr. That's how she has to perform the salah. Not just say that she's going to make Asr alone because Zuhr was long past. Its time is long past. It's past now. It's past due. So we are going to make just a concentrate on what? Asr. We have to combine both Maghrib, Asr, and then Zuhr at the same time, inshallah, just before sunset.
Is that 4 rakat for both?
Yes. Now, you make both 4 rakats in their natural and original form and number. Right.
وإذا طهرت في آخر الليل.
But if she becomes purified at the end of the day, now, at the end of the night, now.
صلت المغرب والعشاء جميعا.
Then she has to make both Isha and then Maghrib at the same time. This is the word of what? Opinion of what? Shaykh Islam ibn Taymiyyah, and it's referring to what? The statements of the scholars like Malik, Shafi, and Ahmed. Now, it's the same thing. In other words, it's propping up, it's confirming the statement what? That has been posited now, previously. That what? Whenever a woman completes her cycle and then she takes ghusl, she's in a state of purity, and it is the time before sunset, that is before Maghrib, she has to what? Perform both Asr and then Zuhr. On the other hand, if she finishes up menstruation, she picks up ghusl, she's in a state of purity, she has to make salah, she has to make both Maghrib and then Isha in their same numbers, in the same order, Maghrib and then Isha. And then at the day, what? Zuhr and then what? Asr. Now, in the same manner in which they are normally performed. Now,
كما نقل ذلك عن عبد الرحمن بن عوف وأبي هريرة وابن عباس.
كما نقل ذلك عن عبد الرحمن بن عوف وأبي هريرة وابن عباس لأن الوقت نعم
لأن الوقت مشترك بين الصلاتين في حال العذر.
لأن الوقت مشترك بين صلاتين في حال العذر, because those two salats, in other words, they are both competing for the same what? Time. And it's because of a legal excuse, they were not performed at the appropriate times, at the appointed times. The time for Salah now comes at the time when the woman is now prepared or ready to make Salah. So she has to perform both two Salah at that day, at the time in that day. Now,
فإذا طهرت في آخر النهار فوقت الظهر باق فتصليها قبل العصر.
فإذا طهرت في آخر النهار فوقت الظهر باق فيصليها قبل العصر, وإذا طهرت في آخر الليل فوقت المغرب باق في حال العذر فتصليها قبل العشاء. Now, just as we have said, if what it is the time of purification, time for Salah, if it happens that at the end of the day, that is before sunset, and then she's in a state of purity, she has to perform both what? Dhuhr and then Asr. On the other hand, if she is purified and then at the time of before Fajr, that is the night, and in the night, she has to perform both Maghrib and Isha. So this is the confirmation of what the Shaykh has said, inshallah, and this is the manner in which a woman in menstruation, after menstruation, has to perform the salawat. Now, during the day or at night. Now, are we okay on that? Yes.
Is it mandatory for the woman to make a ghusl immediately after she's pure?
Of course, it is, because if you don't, then it means, is it mandatory for a woman to make salah? And how can a woman make salah without ghusl? A woman makes salah without ghusl? If that is possible, then
Maybe she's outside.
maybe she's going to sleep without ghusl.
Maybe she's outside.
It's outside. She doesn't have to make salah outside. The only excuse is given, a legal excuse, because of something, right? That is something is over. Because of something that prevents a hindrance. That hindrance is over. So she shouldn't waste no time at all. She should what? Make sure that every nerve is strained to make salah. Because salah is otherwise incumbent upon her, upon all Muslims at all times. Now, so if this permission is given you, you should not take it what? For granted. You shouldn't take advantage. You should what? Capitalize on it to offer it. You shall to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, so the salah, don't forget, has to be performed at all times when it is due. And what will enable a woman to make salah is that when her menstruation is over. Now, because during the time of menstruation, does she make salah? If maybe 6 or 5 or 7 days, does she make salah? Is it enough permission? Is this not enough ease for her? And then the period is over. She's not allowed to what? To make all this, to make all the salah that were past due. When the menstruation is over, is she allowed to what? To make all the no. Salah is over. The time that menstruation is taking place, do you make salah? Does the woman make salah? No. Is it not charity? Is it not enough charity? And now the menstruation is over, you are saying that what? Can she wait for some time more? Not to No, she has to immediately take the ghusl because what? Salah becomes a matter of immediacy. In other words, Salah becomes what? A matter of what? Incumbency that what? Rests on her shoulder. She has to discharge it as soon as possible. Now, is that clear for you? Now, alhamdulillah. طيب.
وأما إذا دخل عليها وقت صلاة ثم حاضت أو نفست قبل أن تصلي فالقول الراجح أنه لا يلزمها قضاء تلك الصلاة التي أدركت أول وقتها ثم حاضت أو نفست قبل أن تصلي.
Pay attention to this. وَأَمَّا إِذَا دَخَلَ عَلَيْهَا وَقْتُ الصَّلَاةِ. But however, if at the time that she wanted to make salah, just 50 zuhr or asr, then immediately, just one salah. And then, so the head stops at the same time, at the very time it is time for salah. Just one salah. And then what? She has to make ghusl before she makes salah. In that instance, she doesn't have to combine two salah. Because salah came immediately on time, and then what? Before also sunset. So at the nick of time, she wants to make zuhr, for example. She takes her ghusl and then make zuhr. But what? At the same time that the zuhr is ready, she cannot perform the zuhr until what? Unless she takes the ghusl. So when she takes the ghusl, she has to go straight ahead and perform zuhr. Similarly, it is time for asr. At the time that she wants to make asr, she cannot make asr, but unless what? She has taken ghusl. So she takes the ghusl and immediately make what? Asr alone. Now, so that's the difference. This is what? Long before what? Sunset. Now, so that's what the Shaykh is referring to. And he said, that is the best of what? The opinion that you can have. That she doesn't have to combine the salah, but she has to make what? Only one salah, if zuhr, if asr. She wants that it is time for asr. And then, or it's time for zuhr. And then just as about the time she wants to make the zuhr, she realizes that no, she cannot make the zuhr after all. Because of what? Because menstruation is still going on. So, what has she to do? But immediately afterwards, then the menstruation is over. She takes the ghusl, she wants to make salah, she doesn't have to combine the salah, she has to just make what? Azur. That's at the time, what? At the time this menstruation is over. No, so that's the difference. This is not towards the end of day. This is what? At the nick of time, during the day, for long before what? They're close to the end of the day. Now, that's it's slightly different from what? Being menstruation coming, and then at the end of day, and then purification taking place. That is different from that. Now.
أظن أن الشيخ ذكر بداية الحيض. بداية الحيض قبل بداية الحيض حان وقت الصلاة ثم حاضت وليس حائضا قبل وليس حائضا قبلها.
وأما إذا دخل عليها وقت الصلاة ثم حاضت أو نفست. Now, it is time for salah. It is time for salah. And then what happens? Then the haid comes. When the haid comes, our nafs or nifas, the blood, the flow of blood, and then she cannot make salah. فالقول الراجح أنه لا يلزم قضاء تلك الصلاة التي أدركت أول النهار. In that situation, she doesn't have to what? make that salah because the haid has come. If the haid has come, then she doesn't have to make the salah. That's what it is now, because she wants to make the salah, but just as she was about to make the salah, then the haid comes in. Well, is she going to make the salah? No. But this opinion is what? The best that we can have, that she doesn't have to make the salah. But assuming it is in a state of purity, and it is just one salah, like Zuhr, the head has been there already, and then she's going to take purification, ghusl. Once in the state of purity, then what? She can make salah. Here, she wanted to make the salah, and then the head comes. Then she doesn't have to make the salah because she's going to what? Be prevented from what? To make salah by the Hajj because of the haid. فالقول الراجع أنه لا يلزمها قضاء تلك الصلاة التي أدركت أول النهار أول وقتها. So in that case, it is not obligatory upon her to make the salah. So here is a woman, she wanted to make salah, and then the haid comes. Is she obligated to make that salah? No, she's not obligated to make that salah. فالقول الراجح أنه لا يلزم قضاء تلك الصلاة التي أدركت أول وقتها. She doesn't have to make that salah that she had wanted to make because of what? The haid comes immediately. Now, right. And the same thing also applies to what? Nifas also. She wanted to make salah, then the flow of nifas comes in. She has to abandon it. She doesn't have to what? Make the salah as soon as what? So long as the blood flows. Now.
قال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله في مجموع الفتاوى في هذه المسألة وأظهر والأظهر في دليل مذهب أبي حنيفة ومالك.
So Shaykh Islam, based upon this, is making a remark that والأظهر في دليل مذهب أبي حنيفة ومالك. He says the madhab of Abu Hanifa and Malik is even more conspicuous. It sheds more light on this issue. What is he saying? أنها
لا يلزمها شيء.
Because she doesn't have to what? There's no harm on her. She doesn't have to make that salah now. لأن القضاء
إنما يجب بأمر جليل.
Because qada, to make up for a salah has to come with what? With a dalil, a new dalil, and what? ولا أمر
هنا يلزمها بالقضاء.
Because there is no command that enables or that empowers or that what mandates her to make that salah, that she was in a state of menstruation, even though at a time when she had wanted to make it, but prevented from what? Making the salah by way of menstruation. Now, this is the opinion of Madhab Malik and then Abu Hanifa, and they are clear on that. Now,
ولأنها أخرت تأخيرا جائزا.
ولأنها أخرت تأخيرا جائزا. The reason why the salah was delayed is because of a legal excuse. Now, she was permitted by law, Islamic law, what? That she can delay the salah. So there is no harm on her now.
وإن كانت
فهي غير مفرطة.
فهي غير مفرطة.
So actually in that manner, in that case, she's not negligent at all. Now, there's no negligence because what? There's a legal excuse that prevents her from what? Making that salah.
وأما النائم أو الناس
أو الناس
وإن كان غير مفرط أيضا فإن ما يفعله ليس قضاء بل ذلك وقت الصلاة في حقه حين يستيقظ أو يذكر.
نعم. وأما النائم أو الناس وإن كان غير مفرط أيضا فإن ما يفعله ليس قضاء بل ذلك وقت الصلاة في حقه حين يستيقظ أو يذكر. Now, here is a person, he's sleeping, or he forgets. At the moment he forgets, the moment he remembers, he's forgetful, anything can happen. But the moment he forgets, what does he have to do? One makes salah. But salah, the time of salah is over. Now, here is a person who was sleeping, and then he gets up. By the time of sleeping, the time of salah is due. And do you make salah when you are asleep? No. Now, he gets up, the first thing that he has to do is what? To go and make salah. This is not negligent. It's not negligent, no. So it is not considered as what? Someone who is making up for salah. It is his right that Allah SWT has given you, and the respite and the permission that when you forget or you are sleeping and you remember the salah, just go ahead and make your salah, and inshallah you are not taking into account on that. That's a concession that Allah SWT has granted what? Ibad. Who not out of intention. Now, out of intention, they were not able to make their salah because they were forgetful or what? They were asleep. Now, Thaniya, now.
So, because I'm a bit, so this scenario, this scenario is a woman is dead. Then her menstruation starts. But at the same time, so let's say we call the adhan, then her menstruation starts.
That's right.
So she was pure, her menstruation started, so she's not praying the salah.
That's right.
So from what we understand here, is that she doesn't have to bring it back when the purity comes back. Is that what he's saying?
Yes, she doesn't have to now because it's a legal excuse now because she was about to do it and then the menstruation comes. So she doesn't have what make the salah. So that is what we are talking about now. It's a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now. ثانيا
استحاضات وأحكام.
نعم. Secondly, الاستحاضة وأحكامها. What is istihada? Go on.
الاستحاضات الاستحاضة سيلان الدم في غير وقته على سبيل النزيف من عرق يسمى العادي.
What we call al-istihada, سيلان الدم في غير وقته على سبيل النزيف. It is a flow of blood that comes not at its normal time. Because when the blood comes or it flows from the woman at the regular time, that will be what? Menstruation. No. But it is not time of her menstruation, but still she sees blood. This blood, it comes out of the veins. Now, it's a blood flow from the veins. And therefore, it is not considered what? Haid. Instead, it's called what? Al-istihada. Now, what is the ruling on istihada? That is what we are going to deal with. Now, Iqra.
والمستحاضات أمرها مشكل.
والمستحاضة أمرها مشكل. The issue of mustahada or pertaining to the person who is in a state of istihada, that issue is complicated. It's complicated. there are some perplexities that surround the al-mustahada. Now, what are they? Some of which are
لاشتباه دم
no.
بدم
No,
الاستحاضة
لاشتباه دم الحيض بدم الاستحاضة, because of the mixture, complexity between what? The blood of haid of menstruation and the blood of what? This istihada. There's a perplexity. Because of this perplexity, it is a little bit troubling, but it can be solved. Go on to see how we can solve it. Now,
فإذا كان الدم ينزل منها باستمرار أو غالب الوقت.
Now, فإذا كان الدم ينزل منها باستمرار أو غالب, if for example this blood flow comes continuously or repeatedly, now, or in the majority of cases, فما الذي
فما الذي تعتبره منه حيضا وما الذي تعتبره استحاضة لا تكسره من أجله الصوم والصلاة.
No. فما الذي تعتبره منه أيضا وما الذي تعتبره استحاضة لا تترك من أجلها الصوم والصلاة. Now, if this is the situation, and then this blood is flowing, not the time of what? Of hate. Now, which one, or how do you determine whether this blood is hate or this blood is istihada? How can you know? What is the determinant that will determine or to differentiate between what blood is hate and blood is istihada? How do you do that? We don't know now. But Shaykh is throwing some light on it, inshallah. What to do is what we are here for now.
فإن المستحاضات يعتبر لها أحكام طاهرات.
So the Shaykh saying that فإن الاستهاضة أو إن المستهاضة يعتبر لها أحكام طاهرات. So just a minute now. So المستهاضة, not al-haid, her blood flow is considered as what? Purity. It's purity. So the person, the woman who is experiencing blood flow not in the time of menstruation, that blood flow is considered what? Al-istihada, and the woman is considered to be what? In a state of purity, not in the hide. Now, so inshallah, we shall stop here and then continue inshallah. والحديث بقية والصلاة والسلام على نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.